Yeah, so unfortunately, the Giants are all I've got when it comes to WHL teams, so we're just gonna roll with it for now. I am repping the Red Wings swag, though, so I think there is a little bit of, what's the word? It's appropriate, I guess you can say. But today, what I wanted to do, instead of talking about the Detroit Red Wings losing yesterday in a, pretty interesting matchup. Yeah, I guess we can say that. There were a number of good things out of yesterday's contest against Nashville. Alex DeBrincat continues his point production. You're still seeing guys like JVR contributing to the team. Second power play is converting on their chances. But, 6-3 against the Preds. Not really a great result for the Detroit Red Wings, which is why I don't really want to talk about that today. You see, we've been making a bunch of videos throughout the course of the season talking about Red Wings young guys, players who have shown off very well, who happen to be Wings property, and guys who could inspire hope heading into the next few years. Take no further look than who we have today, because I wanted to focus on Carter Bear out of the Everett Silvertips in the WHL, Detroit's 13th overall pick in the 2025 NHL Draft. Now, if you know me well enough, if you've been following this channel well enough, you would have known that I've been making kind of, pseudo-quasi reaction videos to these Detroit Red Wings draft picks over the years. It started out in 2019 with the Mo Seider pick, and I was very, very enthusiastic when the Red Wings selected Seider in the top 10 of that draft. The comment section back in 2019 was like, oh no, I don't know anything about this guy. He was not supposed to go this high, but watching your video makes me excited for him. And then he became good. So I don't want to toot my own horn and say I'm right too much, but hey, I think I did a pretty good job in predicting Mo Seider's future with the team. And ultimately, it's just kind of spawned from there. 2020, we saw Lucas Raymond, and then we saw Casper, MBN, ASP, a bunch of guys throughout the years. Edvinson, of course, we can't forget about him. But Carter Bear is a guy that I was honestly kind of salty to see the Red Wings take, because I was like, man, if he just survived 2 more picks, the Vancouver Canucks would have been able to take this guy with their 15th overall selection. But no, of course it has to be Detroit and Stevie Y that goes out there and takes him 13th overall. He's a net front presence, physical forward playmaker, 19-year-old, 6 feet, 187 left wing center, and a guy who leaves nothing to chance. No matter the size of the opponent, the score, or the situation, Carter Bear enters every battle with speed and never concedes an inch. Bear's playoffs every night mentality also powers his offensive game. He powers through contact to get to the net, relentlessly battles in the slot for tips and rebounds, and dominates play from the hash marks and in. The Elite Prospects Draft Scouting Guide says that Carter Bear has shades of Brandon Hagel in his game. And if you've been paying attention to the Tampa Bay Lightning the past few years, you'd know that that's a pretty good thing. Hagel is a buzzsaw out there. He attacks, he scores, he is ferocious on the ice, and he plays with such an incredible amount of pace that sets the tone for his line, his team, and the shift that he is a part of. There's a lot to like out of Brandon Hagel's game, and a lot of those qualities are present in Carter Bear's game. Now, if you take a look at just where things have gone point production-wise for Bear this season, you can see that in the WHL, he's got 21 points in 18 games, which is not the best when you consider his point production last year. He had 82 points in 56 games with the Silvertips in 24-25, his draft-eligible season. But this year, he did miss some time, and he is on pace for fewer points in more games comparative to last season. However, things actually look a lot better when you ignore a certain sample of Carter Bear data. You see, in the past 3 games that Bear has played, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday against Kelowna and Regina, the guy has scored himself 9 points in these most recent 3 games. Coming off of a hat trick plus 1 assist against the Pats yesterday, Carter Bear No, I was thinking of Regina Pats, which is why the P sound was present in my brain. It's not Carter Pear, it's Carter Bear. He is totally starting to amp up his game, and we are seeing the clips get posted on social media because of it. This was posted onto the R Detroit Red Wings subreddit. Carter Bear, first-round draft pick in 2025, gets 3 goals and 1 assist, +2, 4 shots on goal, and was the first star of the night. Really dominant game along the boards, protected pucks well, finished his chances, which is also good to see. You can see here the hat-trick goal for Carter Bear. He takes the pass underneath the second period sign scoreboard there, presented by Tulalip Casino. Okay, that's really funny. And he ends up hammering the one-timer from the Nikita Kucherov Draisaitl spot there. It's a beautiful shot. I don't want to play it because it's like, copyrighted material, but Carter Bear is able to really lock and load before firing it into the goal. And this gives us the opportunity to just kind of dive more so into where he has gone this season. Because, of course, the numbers, when you look at just the past 3 games, it looks amazing. When you look at the whole season, it's maybe a little bit underwhelming. But where exactly is that coming from? Well, to help us out, let's go over onto Dobber Prospects, because they always have some really good fantasy hockey tools, and Dobber is pretty much focused on the keeper league perspective of prospects and hockey player analysis. So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go out there and read Dobber Prospects yourself. But if you take a look at their November 2025 report written by Alex Wyatt, this is what they say about Carter Bear. He has returned to the Everett Silvertips for his 3rd full season and has started the year with a point-per-game pace, 4 goals and 8 assists in 12 games, while adding 18 penalty minutes. Bear is returning to action after healing from a partially torn Achilles tendon and may take some time to fully get up to speed, which could help explain that seemingly slower pace than he was on prior to the injury last season. Bear remains a solid fantasy asset given his offensive prowess and physicality. Don't fret the slow start, and keep tabs on the managers in your leagues if you sense them getting impatient. Bear will likely get back ahead of his point-per-game pace, as implied by his 2 multi-point games in the last 4 as at writing. Well, Alex, he has started to produce a lot more than that. Try 9 points in 3 games. Carter Bear is fully back, baby. And just to give a bigger picture and a bigger look as to what's been going on, this is the August 2025 report, so after the Red Wings took Bear in the draft. The biggest concern heading into the draft for Bear was the injury he had suffered in early March, where he partially tore his Achilles from a skate laceration. Despite that, he resumed skating ahead of schedule, which quickly silenced any doubts surrounding his health on draft day. Since then, he has signed his ELC with the Wings, but is expected to return to the dub for his D+1. Finishing with 82 points in 56 games, Bear exploded offensively last season for the Silvertips. There's a lot to like about his game, but his compete level is what stands out the most. In his own end, he's positionally sound and rarely gets caught out of coverage. He transitions up the ice with speed and intent to create scoring chances off the rush. He has great vision to find teammates and has a knack to score goals around the net. Bear dominates in all 3 zones, and there is a reason why he led his team in every offensive category. He is impressive along the boards, winning the majority of his battles. Bear gets involved physically, using his body during puck pursuit, and uses his motor to overwhelm opponents. Trusted in all situations, Bear has top 6 forward written all over him. I have no doubt he'll have a long NHL career. So with all that in mind, I think Carter Bear has a lot to like out of his profile, and the 9 points in 3 games is just kind of an indicator as to where things seem to be heading. Yes, he had a little bit of a slower start, but that's okay. He was coming back from injury. Seems like that skate laceration wasn't that big of a deal when you think about how he's been performing now. So with all that in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Carter Bear as a Detroit Red Wings prospect? What have you seen out of him so far? And what are your expectations heading into the next few weeks, months, and even years for this player and the Detroit Red Wings? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.